Hello again, friends, and welcome into another edition of Wrestling with Rusty for September the 1st, 2024. Welcome in. Boy, the news just keeps getting worse. I'm sad to report the death of former professional wrestler, pro wrestling legend, Sonny King, real name Lawrence Johnson. Sonny King was a trailblazer in pro wrestling as a pro wrestler and a black pro wrestler at that, at a time when not many pro wrestlers were black and in pro wrestling. Some say there was a lot of racism back in the day, 50s, 60s, 70s, and even into the 80s and 90s in pro wrestling. That's another video for another day. I first met Sonny King, I believe, in the early 70s in Jim Crockett Promotions, NWA, wrestling at the old Grady Cole Center. Well, originally it was called Park Center. Now it's the Grady Cole Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, at the old Park Center. And didn't know him well because I was a young child back then. But I did know him. And it's, 79 years old, almost 80. So, I mean, he had a long life, but still, you hate to hear the passing of any one of these pro wrestling legends. So I'm sad to report the death of Sonny King, real name Lawrence Johnson. He was a great wrestler, and then later on, he was a great wrestling manager. Back in the day when pro wrestling managers mattered. Pro wrestling managers don't matter much anymore these days, but they did back then. And he was great at both, being a pro wrestler and a pro wrestling manager. I also want to report, while I have you here, that Sid Vicious, real name Sid Udi, was buried yesterday in Arkansas. Special thanks to special investigator for the channel, Raymond Tipton, on the Sid Udi burial situation. And don't forget to have Afa and Sika and Awahi and their family and friends in your prayers as well. Afa and Sika of the Wild Samoans. So say a prayer for Afa and Sika of the Wild Samoans, their friends and family, Sonny King, his friends and family, and also Sid Vicious, their friends and family, and the fans of these great legends. Boy, it keeps getting worse. I know death is a part of life. I've said that before on this channel. But it sure doesn't make it easy when some of your heroes die. That's going to do it for me, Rusty. I'm out of here. We'll see you next time for another edition, and hopefully a happier edition of Wrestling with Rusty right here on YouTube. And until we meet again, my friends, please remember to like the videos on the channel, subscribe to the channel. It's now full-time pro wrestling. It hasn't always been pro wrestling full-time, but it is now. Tell your friends to subscribe and like the videos on the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. We'll see you again for another edition of Wrestling with Rusty right here on YouTube. And until we meet again, my friends, keep your faith in God. God bless. And remember, happy wrestling, everybody. And thank you for your past, present, and future support. Take care.